we're joined from Ramallah by the political science professor Ayman Alreqb. Mr. Ayman, thank you so much for joining us on Qnews. And let me first start by asking you about the second phase of the detainee exchange. What are the key sticking points left in its negotiations, and how likely is it to impact or how likely is it to succeed?
Greetings to the EU and to the whole audiences. Up till now, I'm talking about the keys of the deal of the second phase. The date of the negotiations should the 16th day of the truce, and but the occupation disavowed this and stalled to this moment without reaching an agreement. Therefore, we're talking about a stage that haven't been grown yet, and therefore, we are talking about a suspension of such negotiations in order not to take into effect. Hamas movement showed a great flexibility by releasing a number of the Israeli detainees, and in the meantime, regarding the bodies will be released. And on Saturday, the 6th of Israel should be released, which is a great progress of Hamas movement position. And frankly, that is the way of the occupation to disavowing their commitment in the truce. And so they're trying to reach an agreement and to overcome the obstacles that taken place. Till now, the occupation did not avow of its commitment, and there is a dilemma. And if did not send a delegation, so we'll be facing a great standoff. We're talking about now the second phase, while the first phase is suspension. We're talking about the key of the Israeli release in return of the officers of the Palestinian, and the second point is the withdrawal of the Israeli from the Gaza Strip.
Speaking of the obstacles you've mentioned, how does Prime Minister Netanyahu's rejection of linking detainees' release to ending the war impact the overall peace process?
Unfortunately, Netanyahu has no appetite to conclude the deal, and disavowed the details of the first phase of the deal. Regarding the commitments of the agreed upon, regarding the delivery of the trucking tents and the mobile homes. So he put in a great obstacle before the agreement, and we expected that they do not commit these conditions. Netanyahu's allies do not wish to have a light in the path of this deal. If this would continue, that would govern the whole deal with failure, which is a very significant matter that should overcome if Netanyahu accepted to address these matters, to commit in the face of the first phase of the deal, as Hamas already fulfilled its commitment, and then would be move on to the second phase. So the matters are suspended on the hands of Netanyahu in the possibility to overcome this matter and to reach actual agreement. And we are going to wait if he's going to change this track.
Another important matter that I would like to hammer on and ask you about, what are the potential consequences of Israel's refusal to allow the Palestinian Authority to govern Gaza, and how does this align with US President Donald Trump's plan?
The Israelis, Netanyahu in particular, rejects to hand over the Gaza Strip to the Palestinians. But the Americans, up till now, never extended the vision. Would they accept the Trump's strategy regarding Gaza and then will agree in a way or another for the Palestinian Authority to govern the Gaza Strip? Up till now, never show an actual desire for such as well, waiting for the Americans to change their strategy and start in reality to agree for the Palestinian Authority to govern Gaza. Up till now, we are talking about, but the mechanism aren't completed. That we are in need for the approval of the agreement, and in the meantime, the approval of the Israelis.
Now, regarding the humanitarian situation, and with UNRWA facing potential collapse due to Israeli legislative measures, what humanitarian consequences could emerge for Palestinian refugees?
Firstly, UNRWA is being established by the international community organization in 1949 to guarantee the return of the Palestinians to their homeland. The occupation attempts, they are trying to end the operations of the UNRWA. In the meantime, the Americans are trying to stop funding it. And therefore, the Israeli citizens are governed along with Jerusalem, so will be extended in the Gaza Strip, and they will affect at large on the future of the agency that will lose the matters regarding the refugees. And I think this would require a support from the Arab countries that sees that international agency that has a great role. So we've already requested directly to finance the agency directly by the United Nations, but the United Nations have rejected this notion. Therefore, we hope to have decisive way for the international agency to be financed by the United Nations, as its budget is a part of the United Nations to mitigate the suffering of the Palestinian people as much as possible.
From Ramallah, that was political science professor Ayman Alreqb. Thank you so much for joining us here on Q News.